Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Terrible Tabletop Tutorials from the Corona Quarantine Kitchen. My name is MD Welch, and first things first, there's no tabletop photography today. And that might be a good thing or a bad thing, depending on how you view my terrible tabletop tutorials so far. But we're actually going to take advantage of the internet's fascination of cats, and I photographed some of my cats in honor of that fascination. And we're going to actually, in this very short video today, talk about improving your workflow between shooting, reviewing on your camera, and your post-production workflow on your computer. Now, this is a technique that a lot of photographers don't know about, but once you learn about this and how you apply it to your photography can really change the way that you work in post-production software, and also maybe even change the way you work with your clients or your subjects. And what I'm talking about is a rating button on your camera, sometimes a dedicated button, and other times buttons that you can customize. Now, I am working on a Sony camera system here, and they don't have a dedicated rating button, so I have programmed C3 to be my rating button when I'm reviewing my images. Now, when I was shooting Canon, my Canon 5D Mark III actually had a dedicated rating button. And either way, whether it's dedicated or it's something that you have to customize, when you're using this button, what it allows you to do is apply a star rating of some value to your images while you're reviewing them on camera. Now, if I hop back over to Capture One here, we'll see that I have images that are already open, and they already have, some of them already have star ratings underneath them. And this comes directly from the camera on import because of that button. So you could rate on your camera, and then when you import them into your software, that star rating system carries over into your software, which means that I can actually come into here and immediately pull up all 5-star images that I thought that I shot the other day of my cats, and I have all of those images readily available to me. And this is a very powerful feature because, again, depending on the type of photography that you do and how you relate to your subject or your clients, this can radically change your workflow, and hopefully for the better. So let's back up a little bit. First of all, how you set up your button is going to involve a little bit of reading of your camera manual. Again, some cameras have a dedicated button for ratings, others have to be customized. But when you're working with this button, you could actually set it to do a lot of different things. In my case, on my camera system here, and you can see that I don't have anything on the screen because I'm plugged into HDMI, but if we cut over to the camera here, you'll see that I have a picture of the cat and I have 5 stars above it. Now, if I go to another image where there's no star rating, say this image right here, and if I come back to the camera and I press the C3 button, which is again a button that I've customized myself, if I press this, all of a sudden now there's 5 stars on this particular image. And again, on import, those stars carry over. So, and by the way, I programmed the button so if I hit C3 again, those stars go away. And again, very important to mention, this type of customization and how many stars that you get and how the button works is going to be set up through your manual. In my case, I just decided that I wanted it to be binary, 5 stars or no stars, but I could set it up so I could toggle through and go from 0 stars all the way through to 5 stars. So once you have this set up, where is the actual practical application comes in? Well, that again is going to involve your style of photography and also how you relate to your subject or your clients. If you are a wedding photographer, if you're doing family portraiture, if you're doing corporate photography, a lot of times photographers are showing their clients or their subjects the back of their camera, and you could actually do a quick sort and have your client look at the back of the camera with you, and you could hit this button and mark the images that they actually like at the time of their shooting. In my case, I do a lot of headshot work. I might shoot over 100 people in a day, and I will have in my contract that they have to look at the back of the camera and pick their headshot at that moment. I could go ahead and mark it, and again, the beauty of this is on import, as again we see here, I can import say 1,000 images and then quickly just sort by, in my case, 5-star images, and I'm done. I'm done with the sorting or the culling or the editing, whatever term that you want to do, and I could get right into the post-production process of developing these images and delivering them out to people. One last small detail to point out in a potential gotcha is if you're working on a camera system that shoots to dual cards, you might only be recording the metadata to one of those 2 cards. Again, depending on make and manufacturer, how they handle this, it could be different. But in the Sony's case, you could designate is it slot 1 or slot 2 that metadata is written to. If you pull out the card where the metadata is not written to, you will not see any of the star ratings, and you'll have to actually take out the other card and do this. Now, if you plug the camera in directly, it's not an issue, but that is a possible headache. So if for some reason you do this and you're shooting on dual cards and you don't see the stars, it's probably because metadata is being written to the other card. So I hope this little technique opens up a new way for you to work with your camera system. I hope it improves your workflow. I hope it saves you time. I look forward to reading your comments. Also, any feedback and requests, I'm happy to take those as well. I wish you all the best and take care.